In a career which has evolved over nearly 4 decades, Sammo Hung has risen from his humble beginnings as a stunt player and extra at the famous Golden Harvest Studios to become the most influential and prolific innovator the Hong Kong film industry has ever known, constantly discovering new stars and creating new trends in action cinema. Sammo's groundbreaking career as actor, director, writer, and producer has given birth to some of the most creative, daring, and exciting action adventures ever made. His creative genius can be felt in over 160 motion pictures, and for many fans and industry critics, his intricate, high-impact action choreography and fluid, high-energy camera work is almost without equal. Born in Hong Kong on January 7, 1952, one of 4 children of famed Shanghainese actress Qin Chiang, Sammo was enrolled in the infamous Beijing Opera School when he was only 9 years old. From 5 in the morning to midnight, Sammo and the other pupils were subjected to an arduous training program covering all the disciplines of Beijing opera. Under the constant threat of severe corporal punishment, the students were taught acrobatics, a variety of martial arts, singing, dancing, mime, and acting. Yu Jim-yun, the draconian disciplinarian in charge of the school, was extremely impressed by young Sammo's talent and integrated the youngster into his elite student performance group called the 7 Little Fortunes. It was while performing for the troupe during his 7-year term that Sammo began his lifelong association with future martial arts luminaries Jackie Chan and Yuen Biao. The 3 brothers have each contributed to some of the most thrilling, innovative, and technically difficult martial arts sequences ever recorded on camera. The best of their projects together are Project A, Wheels on Meals, and Dragons Forever. Sammo's first appearance before the camera was in the 1961 picture Education of Love. His career as a child actor continued with roles in Big and Little Wong Tin Bar alongside Jackie Chan in 1961, in Father and Son in 1963, and in Princess and the 7 Little Heroes in 1964. After discovery by legendary director King Hu, Sammo appeared in his first supporting role in 1968's A Touch of Zen, the first Chinese film ever to receive an award at the Cannes Film Festival. King Hu became a cherished mentor to Sammo and introduced him to many influential figures in the rapidly emerging Hong Kong film industry, including prolific filmmaker Huang Fong, the man most responsible for launching the career of female fighting fury Angela Mao Ying. Sammo's outstanding knowledge and dynamic versatility so impressed director Fong that he gave him the much sought-after role of fight choreographer on his 1971 picture The Fast Sword, before signing him up as the regular action director for all of his new movies. Sammo's exceptional work both on and off screen could be seen in such classic fare as Hapkido, Bandits from Shantung, and Lady Whirlwind, all produced by Golden Harvest in 1972. After his memorable input in the 1973 classic When Taekwondo Strikes, Sammo worked once again with King Hu on The Fate of Li Kan before getting his first taste of international acclaim when he squared up to Bruce Lee in the opening scene of the historic Warner Brothers Golden Harvest collaboration, Enter the Dragon. Sammo made his own directorial debut in 1977's The Iron-Fisted Monk. Taking the action choreography to a new level, Sammo excels as leading man, director, and fight arranger in this hard-hitting and emotive tale of real-life kung fu legend Miller Six and his fight against the Manchus. Co-starring kung fu impresario Chen Xing, Iron-Fisted Monk is one of the most memorable movies of the period, combining lucid storytelling, a poignant emotional subtext, and outstanding camera work with some of the most explosive and intricate fight sequences of the 70s Kung Fu era. In the same year, Sammo was tasked by Golden Harvest chairman Raymond Chow to direct and choreograph additional fight scenes for the unfinished Bruce Lee swan song, Game of Death, scheduled for release in 1978. Using a variety of doubles, including his old classmate Yoon Bu, Sammo had the unenviable task of recreating a number of high-impact fight sequences in the style of the late great Bruce Lee. Having become good friends with Lee since their memorable collaboration on Enter the Dragon, it was an honor for Sammo to work on the project, which would help showcase the amazing pagoda fight sequences, which Bruce had shot back in 1972 with Hapkido expert Chi Han Joy and Jeet Kune Do students Dan Inosanto and Abdul Karim Jabbar. Now making waves amongst the Hong Kong filmmaking fraternity, Sammo embarked on his own tribute to Bruce Lee with the comically titled Enter the Fat Dragon, also produced in 1978. Despite the obvious differences in physique between Sammo and Hong Kong's #1 fighting legend, this affectionate tribute captures the spirit of Bruce Lee beautifully, and Sammo's explosive combination punching and kicking techniques are all delivered with the same emotional intensity which characterized Lee's performances. Sammo's skill with the deadly nunchucka is one of the movie's major talking points, and even though he had only learned the skill a few weeks before principal photography, he manipulates the weapon like a seasoned veteran. Always determined to raise the bar, 1978 turned out to be another turning point in the evolution of Sammo's trademark martial arts choreography, for it was during this year that he gathered together a host of martial arts talent, including Casanova Wong, Lung Kar Yan, Fong Hak Ong, Lu Chia Young, and Lee Hoi San, to create one of Hong Kong cinema's most accomplished and enduring classics, Warriors 2. A vivid retelling of the legend of Lung Jan, the creator of the Wing Chun fighting style, Warriors 2 combines excellent training sequences, theoretical martial combat exposition, and physical comedy before gathering momentum for an earth-shattering action finale, which is still regarded as one of the best ever filmed. Combat highlights include Sammo's fight in a bamboo forest, his incredible double sword battle, and the matchless power-kicking techniques of Korean powerhouse Casanova Wong, whose spectacular jump-spinning back kick over a table in the final reels is surely the most memorable of its kind. Moving into 1979, Sammo directed and co-starred in Knockabout, establishing younger Beijing opera brother Yoon Bu in his first leading role. This infectious blend of martial arts and comedy was another trendsetter, and Yoon Bu's acrobatic show-stopping performance seems to defy the laws of human physicality. Once again, Sammo's encyclopedia knowledge of the martial arts comes to the fore as he sets up duels using Choi Lei Fat, Wing Chun, Hung Gar, Mantis, and most memorably in the final reels, Monkey Fist. His on-screen performance is as dynamic as his contribution behind the camera, as he punches, kicks, and flips with a grace, speed, and precision previously only believed possible by a man half his size. The climactic 2-on-1 battle where Sam and Bu take on veteran Lu Chia Young has to be seen to be believed, and never fails to bring the house down whenever it is shown. For fans of martial arts weaponry, 1979's The Odd Couple is right at the top of the tree. Believed by many enthusiasts to be the best weapons movie ever made, the balletic duels against spear and sword are some of the most intricate and skillful ever put on film. Sammo acted as choreographer, while Liu Chia-young took up the directing reins. For anyone who has not yet had the pleasure of viewing this masterpiece, do yourself a favor and beg, borrow, or steal a copy. You don't know what you're missing. Sammo's last significant movie of 1979 was The Victim, produced by his own Gar-Bo Productions. Under Sammo's expert guidance, leading man Lung Kar-yan excels in the role of Lung Chung-yo, a martial arts expert embroiled in a bitter blood feud with brother Yo Wing, played with characteristic menace by prolific veteran Chang Yi. The level of choreography and martial artistry in this picture is outstanding, and the climactic battle with Lung, Chang Yi, Wilson Tong, and scores of hapless bodyguards is a defining moment of martial arts action cinema, which is considered among Sammo's very best work. 1980's The Magnificent Butcher saw the first collaboration between Sammo Hung and ace director Yuen Woo-ping, who has recently shot to fame in the West, courtesy of his stunning action choreography in both The Matrix and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Sammo's large physique, combined with his amazing speed and agility, guarantee the definitive portrayal of Wong Fei-hung's legendary student, Lam Sai-wing. Director Yuen wanted to recast his father, Yoon Soo-tin, in the key role of Sam the Seed, after his outstanding success in both Snake and the Eagle's Shadow and Drunken Master, opposite Jackie Chan. But the elder Yoon sadly passed away during the early stages of production, and the film was completed with Fan Mei Shang in the role. Despite this sad loss and the resultant effect on both cast and crew, The Magnificent Butcher is a triumph for both director Yuen and leading man Sammo Hung. The final showdown, where Sammo matches his 5 animals style against Lee Hoi-san's 5 elements, is one of the defining moments of contemporary martial arts action cinema. Having now gained the reputation as one of the most reliable and creative directors at Golden Harvest, Sammo reinvented the action horror genre with 1980's Encounters of the Spooky Kind. This high-energy combination of kung fu, special effects, and horror proved to be another outstanding success for Harvest, and effectively created an entire subgenre in the world of Hong Kong filmmaking, spawning many tributes, most notably in the form of the Mr. Vampire movies. With his star now firmly in the ascendancy, Sammo next embarked on 1981's The Prodigal Son, once again starring Yuen Bu, and co-starring fan favorites Lam Ching-ying and Cantopop sensation turned actor Frankie Chan. A dynamic martial arts adventure with a potent message on the dangers of youthful arrogance, Prodigal Son is one of the greatest kung fu classics ever committed to celluloid. Sammo's groundbreaking fight choreography and direction was responsible for the new wave of kung fu action flicks which was to follow. The breathtaking end fight sequence will have you reaching over and over again for the rewind button. This movie duly earned Sammo a nomination for Best Director at the Hong Kong Film Awards, and he and his team quite deservedly walked off with the award for Best Action Choreography. As well as popping along to the 1982 Hong Kong Awards to pick up the Best Actor accolade for his wonderful performance in Carry On Pickpocket, Sammo produced and starred in The Dead and the Deadly for director Wu Ma as a follow-up to his earlier success with Spooky Encounters before reinventing the contemporary action comedy genre with Winners and Sinners. Also released in '82, Winners and Sinners was the first film in director Hung's incredibly successful Lucky Stars series, which would eventually run for 5 films, and also marks the first time that Sammo appeared on screen with younger brothers Jackie Chan and Yuen Bu. Jackie was already established as the #1 box office star in Asia, but would soon discover that his abilities could be stretched an inch or two further under Sammo's watchful eye. It is quite accepted that Jackie is the king of kung fu comedy in the eyes of audiences in the West, but most hardcore fans of the genre would have to admit that Sammo directs Jackie better than Jackie directs himself. Action-wise, the movie has many highlights, including a hair-raising roller skating sequence where Jackie weaves in and out of rush hour traffic and skates below the undercarriage of a moving container lorry. Also favored amongst fans is Jackie's high-impact restaurant fight, where he sends his opponent tumbling through a plate glass window with a magnificently executed slow-motion spinning back kick, as well as Sammo's wonderful stick combat during the closing reels. Winners and Sinners proved to be a box office smash, and the chemistry between the 3 brothers proved to be so good that Raymond Chow rolled out a big budget for their next collaboration, Project A. Project A proved to be a godsend for Jackie Chan, as many industry insiders thought his career was going down the pan during the early '80s after his abortive attempt at conquering the West with Battle Creek Brawl, and the disappointing box office performance of young master follow-up Dragon Lord. When finally released in '84, after almost a year of production, Project A was hailed as a genre masterpiece and quite deservedly took over 14 million Hong Kong dollars in its first week of release at the Hong Kong box office. Once again, the chemistry between the three brothers is superb, and their combined dramatic, comic, and physical talents ensure that Project A is one of the most memorable action adventures ever made. Most famous amongst all the movie's sequences is Jackie's show-stopping clock tower fall, inspired by Harold Lloyd's Safety Last, which had audiences clapping and cheering and gasping in sheer disbelief at the outrageous courage required to pull off this incredible stunt. Once again, Jackie, Sammo, and Bew prove themselves to be true masters of their art as they kick, punch, and flip their way through the amazing cavern fight sequence which rounds off the movie. The final 3-on-1 encounter against evil pirate King San Pao, played with gusto by veteran Dick Wei, is a masterpiece of rhythm and timing, with each of our heroes taking turns to unleash varied attacks to wear down a seemingly unbeatable opponent. Even though Jackie is officially credited as director and fight choreographer, Sammo was heavily involved in putting together many of the action scenes, and his influence can be felt very strongly in the showpiece climactic fight sequence. Sammo's next two films with Kung Fu brothers Jackie and Bew are generally regarded as two of the best by fight fans on both sides of the Atlantic. In the first, Wheels on Meals, principal photography took place in Barcelona, Spain, and Sammo contracted the services of formidable full-contact champ Benny the Jet Urquidez and Forms champ Keith Vitale to play the roles of principal villains. From the amazing stunt-packed car sequence to the breathtaking plaza fight, where Jackie dislodges an attacker from his motorcycle with a perfectly executed flying kick, right through to the awesome three-way end fight scene, Wheels on Meals is a winner from start to finish. Jackie's incredible battle with Benny the Jet is often cited as one of the best fights ever recorded on film, and quite deservedly so. Sammo's high-impact choreography and stunning camera work is a joy to watch, as these two incredible opponents kick and punch through one of the most realistic encounters ever filmed. Sammo tells us that Benny and Jackie were actually hitting each other for real on many occasions, and for many fans, Jackie's gymnastic kicking ability in this sequence has seldom been bettered. For My Lucky Stars, Sammo's high-energy follow-up to Winners and Sinners, he took his crew to Japan due to Jackie Chan's amazing popularity there and began principal photography in early '85. In true Sammo Hung style, the movie kicks off with a blistering car chase through the streets of Tokyo, culminating with Jackie and Bew battling ninja warriors at a theme park in the shadow of Mount Fuji. When Sammo was let down by one of the project's principal contributors, Jackie and co-star Eric Sang jumped on board to lend a hand with the directing duties. To make the all-important Chinese New Year release date, Jackie, Sammo, and Eric filmed different sections of the movie around the clock. Not only did they make a seemingly impossible deadline, but they also broke another record when My Lucky Stars took 10 million Hong Kong dollars in its first week of release, before going on to attain $30 million by the end of its run. Golden Harvest boss Raymond Chow was so overwhelmed by the movie's success that he hosted a gala dinner for cast and crew, including a symbolic smashing of a $30 million ice carving by all the stars. Keen to trade on the success of the Lucky Stars phenomenon, Golden Harvest commissioned Twinkle Twinkle Lucky Stars for release in late '85, and Sammo took up the directing reins with Jackie and Bew once again playing leading roles. The warehouse fight sequence, which teams Jackie with Yuen Biao and Andy Lau, is regarded as one of the many high points of Sammo's modern career and contains one of the best kicks in cinematic history. Yuen Biao coming off the side of a crate in a mid-air cartwheel, landing perfectly, feigning a 180-degree roundhouse kick before executing a perfect high-impact side kick. It's a moment that will have you rewinding your video in disbelief. For the finale, Sammo really comes to the fore as a martial artist, director, and fight choreographer as he kicks, flips, and punches through a range of challenging opponents. For many fans, his stunning display of martial artistry with 2 tennis rackets is a moment of creativity and skill which very few other performers could match. For 1985's Heart of the Dragon, also known as The First Mission, Sammo appeared in his first truly dramatic role. In a brave departure from the parts that had made him a legend in Hong Kong, he plays the mentally retarded older brother of leading man Jackie Chan. As you would expect, Sammo approaches the role with both sensitivity and humor, and the interplay between both men generates many genuinely touching moments, and as a result, Sammo also received another nomination at the Hong Kong Film Awards, this time for Best Director as a tribute for his excellent work on the film. As well as the drama, the movie also delivers on the action front. Choreographer Yuen Bu went for a very fast, direct, and more street-realistic style, and leading man Jackie Chan excels with his execution of technique in each of the three principal fights. Of particular note is the final showcase, which unfolds in a multi-story construction site where Jackie takes on gun-toting gangsters, axe-wielding construction workers, and a formidable supervillain played again with relish by the ubiquitous Dick Wei. This scene is a genuine masterclass in editing, action photography, and fight choreography, and is a testament to a director, choreographer, and lead actor on top form. The Sammo Hung story will continue with our October 2001 releases Iron-Fisted Monk and Encounters of the Spooky Kind. For those wishing to keep up with events in Sammo's fast-paced and dynamic career, please check out his official website at www.sammohung.com.